How to command respect. Here are some practical tools. Hi everyone, welcome to the video. This is Roubina Khodadin with you. Respect is different depending on where we are, depending on where we've been brought up, depending on the culture. There are some common grounds where we all agree it is respectful to be or not to be something, but to large degree, respect is a contextual thing. Just to give you an example, let's say in certain communities, whatever the elderly are saying needs to be listened to, so the elderly can actually tell off an adult person. But in the more modern world, in Europe, in America, it's more about individual respect, which is above maybe the respect of the community or the respect of the elderly. So first things first is to identify what respect means for you specifically. How would you describe it, and what are the limits that you wouldn't agree upon? Let me give you an example, which is like, let's say for me, what is the most important thing probably for me in terms of respect is manners, right? Good morning. Hello, greeting somebody, saying thank you, saying please. This is, I find this very respectful. And you'd be surprised sometimes how some people, maybe they support great causes, they support human rights, animal rights, everything, but maybe in simple interactions, they can't, for instance, look at somebody when they're talking to them. So for instance, this is for me what's the most important part of respect, and what are the limits that I don't agree upon are linked to my values and also to my origins. Yes, I live in Europe, currently based in France, just in case you didn't know, but I am from another part of the world. So somebody who comes to me and has talks bad about people of color, I find this very disrespectful, regardless of whether it's a human right or not. It's just disrespectful to me. I can watch jokes like stand-up comedy. I like stand-up comedy about racism and even racist jokes. However, this is like entertainment, and this is something that I'm watching. But if somebody's talking to me and passing a racist comment, I definitely will find this disrespectful. So this is for me. What I suggest is that you press pause on the video and you just write for you what's the most important thing about respect, and also what is the limit that we should not cross for you. In that case, we are clear about what respect means to us individually as a person. So now that we're clear about that, how can we actually command this respect? Human beings, we work well in terms of imitation, right? Like children, the way they grow, they imitate their parents or whoever they're growing around with. So the best way to start gaining respect is you by behaving the way you would like somebody to behave with you. So let's say you walk into a party, and the way for you to show your respect is by, let's say, I don't know, shaking hands, for instance, right? So you go ahead and shake hands so that the other people know this is what you're expecting. In terms also of sometimes personal space, we don't like people sometimes to be standing very close to us in our personal bubble. So if you stand up in a way that you put this bubble around you, the other person will catch it. It's unconscious, but people will catch it. So is leading by example. That's the first way of commanding respect. Actually, it's earning respect. The second way is it's always better to give the information at the start of something. So at the start of a new relationship or a new interaction, whatever type of interaction or whatever type of relationship, is to establish very clear boundaries straight away. So let's say you meet somebody and they talk in a way to you that you find very disrespectful. You can just look at them in the eyes and say, I'd rather you talk to me differently, or I don't appreciate the way you're talking to me, or I would appreciate a thank you. No big conversations going around me and I and what I value and what is important. No, because people, when they hear too many words, they just don't listen. So the second thing is to establish that earlier on in your new interactions. That's two. The third thing is, depending where we are, the first thing that gets portrayed is our physical appearance, whether we want it or not. We live in a world where our first clue is our eyes, right? Not just our eyes, but generally speaking, it's the eyes. So if I want to go somewhere and I want to be respected, then visually how I present myself will make a difference. Let's say I go in a bar, right? And I know in that bar there are many people who disrespect women, let's say, just to give an example. And I know I can't change those people, but I still have to go to this bar because whatever, it's my friend's birthday and I can't not go, I have to go. How do I go in that bar? Well, I try to dress up in a way that makes sure that it doesn't awaken people's disrespect. I'm not saying they're right to be disrespectful. I'm just saying there's no point awakening disrespect when we know we are walking into a pitfall, a potential pitfall. So the third way is to how you present yourself, and depending on the place you're going, if you know this is better to dress in that way because you will earn more respect, then do it, because we can't change how people view us, especially strangers, but we can prevent unnecessary streaks of disrespect. So that is the ways of kind of how we can show people how they can respect us. However, there's the respect that we kind of earn. This is how we're earning the respect. But there's the respect that we command, and that's a different thing. The rest is coming up. In the meantime, please like the video before you forget, and why not subscribe and click the little bell. Talking about respect that we command, have you heard of situations where people have tried everything they can and they still get disrespected everywhere they go? Have you heard of situations where in relationships one person has been constantly over and over walked upon in every single relationship? And this disrespect is not something that can just be fixed by giving an example, by setting the boundary, by dressing in a kind of way. It's never going to work. It's as if I've got an illness inside of me and I've eaten something that's wrong and I try to wrap it up in some sort of bandage. It's never going to work. It's going to have to be taken out from the inside, right? So usually those kinds of disrespect which are repetitive, they usually come from our unhealed past wounds. To give an example, let's say as a teenager you've been humiliated, whether it's at school, whether it's even by your family, let's say, right? And this wound is inside of you, and it's like a little bit giving some information to your mind unconsciously that it is okay to be disrespected, or it is giving an information that it's like it's not healed, it's still very a bare wound. So this bare wound, sometimes for it to be healed, it kind of keeps coming across similar situations, and this is where we can actually command respect, is by healing those little parts that have been disrespected a lot in the past, that have been humiliated a lot in the past, that have been walked upon a lot in the past. And if we look at them and we try to change it inside of us, within our body, within our mind, then there are chances. It's not just chances, I can almost guarantee, well, if you do it the way I explain, I can almost guarantee that at some stage there will be the respect that you just command. You don't have to do anything or say anything or even dress in a specific kind of way. You just command respect, because those parts that have been disrespected have been healed and have been strengthened. So the next video is about looking into those parts and how we can heal it through the body, through the mind, through the heart. And you can look at this video, try go back to certain situations that you felt disrespect, and reorder that inside of you, so that the inside is more respected and the outside will be more respected. You're just going to have to click on the video, but don't forget to leave me your comment and let me know those two things I was talking at the beginning, as what is respect for you and what are the limits not to cross regarding this respect. And you're just going to have to click on it, and in the meantime I'll say thank you.